I want you to picture this. Kawaki, the boy who once said he would protect Naruto at everything. He was a junkie for chasing power. He's now lying on a table like he's checking in for his weekly oil change because Amado has to update all that ninja tech inside his body for maintenance. Meanwhile, you got Amado standing over him there, and he's got more wrenches than a Formula One pit crew. And the second that the alert goes out that Mamushi is inside of Konoha attacking, Kawaki practically jumps off the table like, hold on, let me get this last DLC installed before I go fight that snake baby. At this point, Kawaki is more addicted to all those artificial power-ups than Naruto fans are addicted to coping about being stuck in Shippuden and all the debates about power scaling on Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, and etc. Every time Kawaki gets defeated, he immediately runs back to Amado like an MMO player who refuses to grind, and instead he buys every XP booster in the store itself. But under all the memes is something that is way more interesting. Kawaki probably did not get his full attack power upgrade that he was seeking. Yes, he is definitely stronger than he was when he fought against Jura. I think that that's going to be undeniable, but I also believe Amado was not done. And that means that the story is setting up for something very specific, continuing the back and forth rivalry in terms of power progression between Boruto and Kawaki, the classic Naruto formula, except this time one boy powers up through scientific augmentation and the other one powers up through training and discipline and trying to master that Otsutsuki chakra inside of him. This isn't random. This is the thesis of the entire Boruto story, if you're being honest, and if you pay attention to the story itself. It gives us two answers to the same question. Where does science fit in this world of shinobi? Well, in today's newest Naruto Explained video, your OBC, your original Boruto chief, is going to be breaking down why Kawaki's incomplete upgrade makes perfect narrative sense, how it sets up the next rivalry escalation, and why it enforces and reinforces the fundamental difference between Kawaki and Boruto in terms of their character arcs. Also, new merchandise is on the Naruto Explained Teespring. We got the OBC shirt, the original Boruto Chief shirt. You got the 6-pass Magatamas all around the logo. You have the channel logo down at the bottom, and inside of the OBC letters, if you look closely, there are bolts and screws because Boruto's name means bolt, and Boruto is named as a pun to Neji. Neji means screw. Boruto has a bolt necklace, and the Boruto logo also has bolts in it. We got these in orange and black because those are Naruto colors. We got them in blue and white because those are Naruto Explains colors, and we also have them in pink and black because those are Boruto Uzumaki's colors, and we also have pink and white as well, and a combo collection of pink and black and orange and black because Naruto and Boruto are all the same franchise. There's a 15% off discount code if you type in OBC2 at checkout. And if you purchase the merchandise, email me at my business account. I will feature you in a video if you send me a picture of you wearing the merchandise. Let's just get right into it. So Kawaki is learning his attack power was limited. That was something that changed the story forever. So we got to rewind to that moment where Boruto dropped the bomb on Kawaki. When Boruto revealed Amado had deliberately lowered Kawaki's attack power to raise his defense and his regeneration. That was the moment that Kawaki snapped, because to him, power was survival. Power was everything. Survival was the only thing that mattered after Naruto's safety. So when Kawaki demanded Amado remove his limiters, it wasn't just to become strong, it was to unleash full Ishiki level of attack power. The same power that once humbled his entire life and humbled the entire shinobi world when Naruto and Sasuke got beaten so bad that Kurama had to tag in. And for a moment, it kind of looked like Kawaki was gonna be unstoppable. But then he pulled up on Jura, and Jura didn't just push him. Jura took all of his attacks, whipped out a book, and said, dude, I'm not trying to fight you. Sit your bitch ass down somewhere. Jura, without throwing a punch, embarrassed him, almost as easily as wiping breadcrumbs off of the table. That fight, it was the wake-up call that broke Kawaki mentally. He realized something unforgivable. Even with Ishiki's attack power, he wasn't enough. And that psychological trigger leads to what we saw when he was laying on that table. Kawaki has a new upgrade, and I do think that there is a clue that a lot of people are overlooking. So when you fast forward to this current arc, Kawaki is seen laying on Amado's table, and Amado was clearly in the middle of something. This was not routine maintenance. This was not a medical check. This was not a diagnostic scan. Kawaki was way too calm for things like that. He was way too ready for that. And the framing, it was intentional when you look at these circumstantial evidence. Right after Kawaki demanded more power a few chapters ago, after the Jura fight, right after he said he didn't care about the damage that would be done to his body, right after it was revealed that Ishiki's power was not enough to kill Jura, and so Kawaki wanted more because he's like, I can kill this guy if I get more power. We now see him on the table. That implication is obvious. Amado is upgrading Kawaki's attack power even further to take him beyond Ishiki, beyond anything that we could have comprehended, which that by extension upscales Jura when you think about it. But here's the trick. Kawaki, I do believe, was interrupted here. Mamushi's infiltration into Konoha, it forced him off that table before Amado got finished. That means Kawaki is in the weird middle state right here. Stronger than when he was fighting Jura, but not yet at the full power that he demanded, and dangerously close to destabilizing his own body, which perfectly sets up what came next, which is that I believe Kawaki's upgrade, it was not finished. Now, there are three major narrative reasons why Kawaki, I don't think, got that full buff that we were thinking. The rivalry structure has to stay balanced when you think about it. So, Boruto just received Momoshiki's chakra on top of his own because he's now using Karma. He also has a newly upgraded sword. So that takes somebody in Boruto who is already stronger than Jigen in base, and that makes him a lot stronger when you add in the Karma Seal multiplier. A major boost in experience also comes from getting Momoshiki's combat experience when he uses Karma. So if Kawaki suddenly jumped all the way up to his final form right now, basically what fans call Scarf Kawaki, that gap, it will be too wide to overcome. Naruto as a franchise, when you look at it closely, it kind of escalates the rival power in a back and forth manner. Low-key reminds me of what Togashi did with Yu Yu Hakusho and with Hunter x Hunter, two series that did heavily inspire Kishimoto as well as Ikimoto with Boruto's manga. So for instance, Sasuke would get a power up, then Naruto get one. We would see it like when Naruto was training with Jiraiya, got a lot stronger, made this progress, and then Sasuke basically embraced having the curse mark. Sasuke would get the Mangekyo Sharingan, and then Naruto would get Sage Mode. Naruto would get his KCM2, and Sasuke would fully unleash his Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. In Naruto Volume 70, Naruto got 6-Path Sage Mode from Hagoromo, and he also got a different power called 6-Path Power via the 9 Biju. And Sasuke got the Rinnegan from Hagoromo according to the 4th Naruto data book, and he also got enhanced Hashirama cells from Kabuto. Both of them got Hagoromo's chakra split evenly in their chakra seals. It was always balanced. Boruto versus Kawaki, in a way, is starting to repeat this cycle. So if Kawaki got that full upgrade before even seeing Boruto's current new strength, that rivalry rhythm, it would break. And I think we have to look at the fact that Kawaki still needs additional reasons to continue powering up. It's shown in Writing 101. You never give a character their final upgrade before they experience true humility. Kawaki seeing Boruto's new strength, it will ignite jealousy, a fear of being left behind, further obsession, and anger at himself and Amado, and nothing motivates Kawaki more than a potential emotional self-destruction and a good old obsession with Naruto. He's probably going to go into that dimension and start hugging Naruto, saying, why is Boruto getting so much stronger, than push Hinata away and say, these are my Naruto hugs, you go hide in a corner somewhere. Letting that upgrade remain incomplete, it preserves that emotional trigger. It saves it for later on. The other thing is that We got all those warnings that Kawaki's body can't physically handle instant max power beyond max power. Amado made that clear. He runs the risk of destroying his body, and it could potentially kill him. Amado can't have that happen because he needs Kawaki to revive his daughter. Kawaki will not do that until Kawaki kills Ko, Jura, and Boruto. Kawaki don't care. He's fully willing to take shortcuts even if it shortens his lifespan, which is really funny. He wants to kill Boruto, and Boruto long ago rejected ninja tech shortcuts and actually trains like a real shinobi now, which is what Naruto and Sasuke wanted him to do. And yet Kawaki's obsessed with Naruto, and he's doing the one thing that Naruto would never agree with. This is absolutely beautiful. The irony is thicker than Choji and Chocho at an all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet. That brings us to why gradual upgrades are smart storytelling. So shonen villains, they tend to go from 0 to 100 instantly. But what I like here is that Boruto has avoided that mistake with Kawaki. Like in Naruto, you had some examples of characters like Madara and Obito powering up over time, but those power-ups, they also came like in massive jumps. But then you had characters like Zabuza. He showed up and he was just as strong as he was. Sasori was just as strong as he was. Ikimoto, when you look at how he was doing things with each new villain, they just kind of came in and they were at their peak unless they got a transformation. It's very Dragon Ball-esque in that. By taking this approach with Kawaki, keeping his upgrades gradual, it preserves that threat level. If Kawaki goes well beyond Ishiki, like if we call this new Kawaki Max Ishiki Plus Ultra, then somebody like Jura might not be a threat anymore. But the story needs more tension. It needs to remind us as a reader that Jura is still a monster that is still beyond rational scaling. And it also keeps Kawaki's character arc alive, and that's very important. Kawaki's arc, it has many different layers to it, and one of those layers is addiction. Not to substances. I'm not saying that Kawaki is pouring some white substances on the butts of Ada, Sarda, and Sumire and sniffing them. I'm not saying that. He's not addicted to fame, but instead he is addicted to power as a safety mechanism. Every defeat, it creates a new withdrawal when you think about it. Every upgrade that he gets is like Kawaki taking another hit. A full upgrade, it ends the cycle. A partial upgrade, it keeps that story alive. And it also allows Boruto and Kawaki to rise together. They're both clinging to that same mountain, but they're on opposite sides. Boruto's climbing the mountain with discipline. He's training. He has that spiritual control. Kawaki, he's climbing that mountain by stapling jet engines to his back and saying, hey, this is fine. I'll get there eventually. It creates a narrative symmetry. It sets up that inevitability of Kawaki's downfall that happens well after Boruto versus Kawaki takes place. His path is unsustainable. I love Kawaki's character, but it's unsustainable. You can't keep upgrading a body that already contains Ishiki's blueprint without consequences, especially when your own body is not physically preparing itself to take on that level of power. Boruto is physically preparing his body through hard work and training daily. That slow, steady escalation and watching Boruto power up, it's gonna build tension for Kawaki's inevitable narrative collapse. And that also brings me to how this contrasts Boruto's power philosophy. So here's what we have to look at. We have to look at the core theme here. Boruto was always a story that asked the question, where does science fit in the world of shinobi? Boruto and Kawaki represent two different answers to that question. Kawaki's answer is basically science replaces shinobi. Boruto's answer is science will support shinobi. Kawaki is the extreme that proves the limits of science itself. Boruto is the balance that proves its usefulness. Kawaki's path, it's been embracing Otsutsuki power, fully mechanical enhancements, because the guy, like all the other car enters, is a cyborg, which is a reminder. We have no androids in Boruto. We have cyborgs, human beings, clones who have been artificially enhanced. They have been mechanically enhanced. It does not matter that Kawaki and all the rest of them down on a cellular level have been mechanically enhanced. They're still human. Very much so, like 17 and 18 in Dragon Ball. Gotta throw that out there because people still say androids when we have no androids in Boruto. Kawaki also rejects shinobi training. He believes only in overwhelming power that matters. He sees science as a shortcut, as a way to get him everything that he wants. That also makes him both a shortcut merchant as well as a shortcut addict. He thinks emotions and bonds are liabilities. He seeks control and power through force. Might makes right. He is a consequentialist. Kawaki is the embodiment of a world where the shinobi philosophy dies. If Kawaki was in our current world, Kawaki's that guy who fully embraces AI. Boruto is like the guy like me who says, I don't really fuck with that stuff, but if people want to use it to support what they do, fine, go for it. I personally don't care for it, though one of my editors, the ones that work on the Net Worth series, they've been experimenting with using AI generation. I'm iffy on it, but it's different philosophies basically. I don't like the fact that it's taking jobs. My degree, side note, my degree is now useless because of AI. I'm gonna get off my soapbox because this will turn into a 30-minute video if I rant. But I say that to say this. Boruto's path, he uses ninja tools only as support. He trains like a traditional shinobi. He works to understand power instead of rushing to obtain it. He believes that science and ninjutsu can coexist. His literal sword is a representation of that. He represents harmony between the old way of the shinobi that Naruto and Sasuke were cut from and the new way of the shinobi that is being built in Boruto's existence. He fights smarter, not lazier. He chooses bonds and hard work over shortcuts, even with something like 10 directions. Boruto still has to put the work in to master all the jutsu Koji taught him. The only thing that happened is that Koji removes all the trial and error that comes from creating your own jutsu. Again, Boruto has always been a series that attempts to answer the question, where does science fit in this world of shinobi? Boruto has the right answer. Right beside the shinobi, but not above shinobi. Right beside shinobi, but not to replace shinobi. Somebody tell our politicians they should be looking at AI like that. Kawaki's answer is shinobi are obsolete. The only thing that matters is the efficiency of science. The only thing that matters is raw power. This is why it is so hilariously ironic that Kawaki, the shortcut addict, wants to kill the one guy who actually respects the shinobi way. Kawaki's out here cheating on every test, trying to take out the kid who actually studied. Very ironic. And that brings me to how the rivalry moving forward could unplay or could unfold. So here's the predictable pattern that the story's setting up. Kawaki gets that partial upgrade. He fights Mamushi, sees Boruto is stronger than expected now that he has Kalma, and he's also got a brand new sword that has ninja tech with it. Kawaki panics, his worldview's cracking. Why is Boruto stronger without enhancements? Why am I still left behind? Why does he keep surpassing me? How can I kill this guy and he just got stronger? Kawaki's gonna go back to Amado and demand more upgrades. He's gonna force a final augmentation, and this time there's no turning back. He's gonna say, hey, you aren't finished. I want everything. Boruto gets a counter power up. That's gonna come when he starts training, likely to fully master Momoshiki's chakra. That is power through discipline. That's not through shortcuts. Their philosophies are gonna clash. This isn't some random power scaling, boop, 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 deet, 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 carry the two, calculate the number of pixels and say this character's over this character. Instead, it is a narrative thematic escalation of science versus shinobi, shortcuts versus training, control versus understanding, fear versus growth, Boruto versus Kawaki. And that's why Kawaki needs to fall behind temporarily, because again, if his upgrade was complete, he wouldn't feel insecure. But Kawaki's entire character is driven by inferiority and fear and that desperation to survive, that obsession. He needs all of this. He needs Boruto to shine for Kawaki's character arc to continue. That's what's going to continue to push him further into the abyss, that need for more power. Kawaki believes that power equals survival. So seeing Boruto surpass him, it threatens his worldview and it makes him question whether or not he can accomplish his goal. Kill Code, kill Boruto, kill Jura. That fear is going to make him get stronger. That desperation drives to upgrades, and those upgrades drive the thematic contrast between them. Kawaki lying on that table wasn't just a throwaway scene, it was a roadmap, a sign that Ikimoto is carefully building Kawaki's eventual downfall, brick by brick, implant by implant, upgrade by upgrade, because Kawaki's story isn't about defeating Boruto. It's about what happens when you abandon the shinobi way, the very path that Naruto tried to put Kawaki on. When you reject growth through struggle and you choose power and efficiency over everything. Boruto, he grows stronger through training, discipline, and bonds. Kawaki grows stronger through fear, shortcuts, and denial. Boruto getting strength through bonds goes back to what we're told in Naruto's manga. When a shinobi has something that they love, something that they desire, something that they want to protect, they grow stronger. Boruto has all three. Both are rising, both are evolving, both are powerful. Both would absolutely make Madara and Hashirama their bitch without trying. But only one of them is on a path that leads to the future, and the other, he's on the path that leads to ruin. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking on the left to check out this Naruto Explained video, or clicking on the right check out videos from other two anime channels where I talk about non-Naruto content.